Good afternoon, guys. It is a Thursday and it is the 17th of November. Thank you to my channel for coming to my channel. This is probably about the third or fourth time that I've tried recording this, so which is why it's a little bit late, because I ended up getting a bit frustrated with it. The focusing on my webcam keeps coming and going, and yeah, it keeps getting on my nerves. I think it's because of the cats potentially coming in and out of the room. Maybe they then switches focus to them, I don't know. So I'll try and keep it short for this one, just to blast through everything. So my name is Sherry. My channel I call Essex Stitcher, and I go by that on Instagram as well. So if you're returning, thank you very much, and if you're new, then please stick around, and if it's something that you like, then please subscribe. So I have not too many projects that I've worked on, but some really good progress since you've last seen them, and I have a little bit of haul. How long has it been? But now my financial situation is a little bit better. I am back to scrolling eBay in an evening again. So yes, I bought a couple of things. So the first ones that I will show you is my Happy Little Santa. So on this one, it might be a little bit difficult to see because it's sort of with the white, but I filled in the vast majority of his hat along here, and I think possibly his face down here. But I also went a little bit more on this blue here. It's obviously not going to be completed by Christmas, but I will probably make it sort of like a focus project come December, just because it's nice to stitch something Christmassy. But yes, it doesn't get too much bigger than this, and it just will show you, and that's the width of it. So this is on a 14 count white Ada that I already had. I very much just stitch from stash. Very rarely do I buy something. I only tend to do a chart if I happen to have a piece of fabric for it. Otherwise I'll find a different chart that will fit on something that I've got. There's nothing really I have. Some things you think that you get a chart and you really want to stitch it, and you'll cut it out, but I've not had to do that actually for a while. I think I've got about 13 projects on the go, and I just switch between them, and I think that kind of keeps the edge of wanting new starts so much, maybe. The next one I work on, I haven't got the picture to show you, which I apologise, is my tiger. I did do quite a bit on this one last month. I have practically finished doing his ear. I think there's a little bit just down here that I need to finish. And then I carried on down here a bit more, and I've maybe filled this in and filled a lot in over here as well. I absolutely love this project. I did talk about seeing whether I can finish this off on my mum's birthday next month, and I'm not going to be able to. As soon as I put time frames on stuff, it just doesn't work for me. So yeah, so I don't think I will be doing a cross stitch for my mum for her 60th. Maybe I did find an Egyptian one that I really liked on eBay. I can't remember the maker, Rizzoli or something like that, and it was lovely. It was a Cleopatra one, and the face was really good on it and everything, but unfortunately I didn't win it. But I wish I should have done a little bit of research, because the kit went for £12.50, and then when I searched for it again on eBay, they were coming up at like £30. So unfortunately I missed out on that one, but I'll have to keep looking. But again, this is just on a piece of 14 count cream Ada that I had in stash, and using my CXC threads all my needle minders come from Lisa at No More Lost Needles. So I have a Smelly Cat one from Friends and the lovely Kevin Costner. Yummy. And yeah, I think I mentioned it last time about these scroll frames. I'm still loving these scroll frames. Dave, my partner, who, if you're new here, Mum has asked me what I want for birthday. So I think Christmas, I might send a link for another one of these. I just need to pick a project for it and then make sure I get the right sizings. But yeah, so there's that one. One that I've done quite a bit on, another one, is my poppy. That's right, there's no needle to that, but I put it on the chart, so that's fine. So here we go for this. This is the first Mill Hill one that no, it's not the first Mill Hill one I've done, but it's the first buttons and beads, is it one? So this is what it will look like. It's quite a bit of glare, isn't there? I apologise, there you go. And yeah, so in terms of what I've done, is I've filled in this big section, or this section up here, started on the green here, and I think I filled in quite a bit down here as well. So I did do quite a bit on that. It doesn't go up too much higher, maybe about here, I think. So yeah, so this was obviously a focus piece because it was on my WIPGO, but yes, I think it is on February's WIPGO, but I'm having an issue with WIPGO, which I'll talk about later. One that I have made big progress on is my mountain scene. I absolutely love this. It was in an old copy of Cross Stitch Crazy from March 2017. And I remember buying it actually, and I bought it for this particular chart because I just loved it. And yeah, I remember having a conversation with, I think it was Lisa Simmons. I can't remember her channel at the moment, but she's on Instagram as well. But she says she runs No More Lost Needles. That I was like, I really like this, or any chart, but it doesn't necessarily go with your decor. And she was saying she's a lot more of like a process stitcher than, I can't remember what the other terminology is, but you know, you stitch just for the love of stitching and liking the image rather than stitching it because you want it to go, say, on the wall up there or something, you know, to particularly go with your decor. And you know, rightly so, because if I only stitched stuff that went with my house, it'd be a bit boring, wouldn't it? You do then, of course, get left with all this finished stuff that doesn't go anywhere. But yeah, so what I did on this, and I will take it, I'll take it out the hoop actually, because I'm really proud. So I made this a focus piece for November. I can't remember whether this was, I think this might be a WIPGO actually. And so since you last, God, it's a bit all mangled up, isn't it? Another reason why I prefer the scroll frames now, I think. So I have finished all this bottom bit down here, all that water by the stag. I joined up and finished the blue outline. That I think was somewhere down here, so I stitched quite a bit of that. I've stitched these trees down the side here. No, sorry, these trees here. Filled this in, this bit up here, and I think this section here. So I've done quite a lot on this. So I'm counting my stitches. I counted my stitches last week, obviously for my challenge that I've got in my Facebook group at the moment. So last week I put in about just over 500 stitches in it, and then I was stitching it quite a lot the week before as well. The reason why I made this a focus piece was because I find I'm really struggling with WIPGO at the moment, because where I'm so behind on other squares and I'm constantly trying to play catch up, I'm not getting a lot of, I guess, satisfaction out of it, because I'm not actually managing to complete any of the squares. So I've kind of bimmed my WIPGO for the rest of this year, and decided that, because I really wasn't getting in much stitching at all, because I was trying to work out what I wanted to stitch on. I was trying to work out what I had to catch up on, and then whether I needed my tablet or not, and then that 9 times out of 10 that had gone flat, so I needed to charge it. I was having trouble with bringing some of the charts up on my tablet. That was really frustrating. And then I kind of get in the mood and then not in the mood to stitch. We've had a lot going on, just house stuff and general life stuff, no sort of major instances or anything. But we've been busy last month. We're still busy. We haven't got a free weekend now until after Christmas. And that's stressing me out a little bit. It's all fun stuff. It's all stuff to look forward to. But I can feel now I'm starting to get overwhelmed with everything. And I'm letting things slip, like getting a decent amount of stitches in to enjoy the hobby still. The housework I'm not helping out as much on, and I can feel myself sort of like almost starting to shut down a little bit, because there's just so much going on, and I've got so much paperwork that I need to do to change my name over to be able to do stuff, and that is a real, I'd not changed my name over on any official paperwork to my married name, and actually I did the paperwork for my driving license the other day, and I found it actually really hard, and I got quite upset with it, because I don't want to officially change my name. For anyone that's new, my husband left me 4 months after getting married, or 4 months after buying a house, and 3 months after getting married, he left for somebody else. And as much as it needs to be done, and I have done it now, and I want to have the same surname as my daughter for as long as possible, yeah, I just found it really hard to have to fill that form out to make it official, if you like, on an official document. I still very much, for certain things, use my maiden name if it's nothing too official. So like when I sign up to websites and stuff like that, I will automatically just sign it up as my maiden name, and only really use my surname, my married name, for like really official stuff, work and as such, and the school stuff. But there we go. So I've still got bits like that to do. We're still trying to remortgage, that's still going through. So that is always on my mind at the moment. And if you're being a massive overthinker, I constantly have 100 things running through my mind. And like I say, it's nothing that's particularly stressful. It's not one thing that is really hard to deal with or anything like that. It is just, it's just a lot. So removing WIPGO removes just a bit of pressure, and I can just use my stitching time to relax stitching, and hopefully by the end of the year get a finish in, which I should do, because this is very close. There's not a whole lot. I would say I'm like 2/3 of the way through this. So this is just on a 14 count Ada, again from I don't know where I got all this Ada from. I must have just bought loads off of eBay years and years ago, and and yeah, I've just stashed it away, and then I'm like, oh, okay, I'll do that. And then again, using my CXC threads, I think I've got a mixture actually between the DMC and CXC. I don't know, it's a massive difference if I'm honest between them. I'm sure there is, but not enough for me to notice in a project once it's been done. The other one that I've made massive progress with, and last week I got just over 1,000 stitches done, and again, by just making this a focus piece and just by working on this, I was going from about 700 to 800 stitches a week, because I'm counting at the minute for the challenge, to last week I think I got 1,500. So I doubled my stitching count just by having a couple of focus pieces. It helps that these ones that I've chosen are a lot of block colours. That helps a lot, but I just want to finish by the end of the year. That's all. So this is from my cross stitch for the soul book, and I am doing the best view comes after the hardest climb, which, as I've said before, this is kind of how I feel like now with Dave. So I've got just over 1,000 stitches on this, and this is where I am at the moment. So I actually think when you last saw it, I may have only had half of S done. I've done T and I think half of S. So I finished hardest, started the word climb. This H took a while actually. Went wrong on the cloud and I had to unstitch that. So this is like a little path that comes down and the start of a mountain. Little cute hot air balloon. And yeah, I really like this. It's kind of going to match the colours that go in our bedroom. I'm not sure whether I want to keep it in a hoop, obviously not this big, or frame it. I don't know. We're getting the, I don't know if anyone heard it, Samsung do a TV called the Frame TV, and it basically, it's really thin, almost has like a picture frame around it, and you can put a screensaver on it of a nice scene or your own pictures or something like that. And we're going to make like a collage with lots of other pictures going around it, so it does look like a picture rather than a TV. And so, because they're going to be black frames, I didn't know whether to put this in a black frame, because it is going against a very light wall. So I didn't know whether, because this is white, having only a thin like hoop frame, perhaps then going on the light wall, having it in a black frame might make it stand out a bit more. But again, 14 count Ada from Stash, and CXC threads. Love them, you can't go wrong with them. I honestly couldn't recommend them enough. I also, I won this as part of a competition, and it is one of the most useful things. So I won it from Starlight Stitching Company. Oh, there you go, Starlight Stitching Company. They're also on Instagram, and I think that's where I won the competition. And it's this, you've got a little pocket, but it opens up, and I've never saw these before then. Actually, Lisa had to show it, tell me what it was for. But you kind of have this like felt on the inside, and you see how it just like grabs the thread. Obviously not then, but it just kind of, the threads just stick to it, and it's so handy because I will always just put the threads on the table beside me, and then they kind of just stay there, and then the next night it builds up a bit more, and then a bit more, and then a bit more, and before you know it, there's like a bit like that that's massive. And so yeah, so I use this every night, and just capture my threads, and it keeps everything just a little bit neater. That's also all the extra needles I have found on my projects. I don't know why most of my projects I had like 2 needles on. I think I must lose the needles, go and grab another one, and then and then find the originals or something. Sometimes I will, if it's got a grime guard on them, I'll put a needle in the grime guard. I don't know why I do that. And yeah, so that's all of my stitching. I will keep my the hardest climb and my mountain scene as my focus pieces. I would love to get one of them done by the end of the year. I don't want to say both, but that would be amazing. And so we are extremely busy now. Work is busy, so it's not like before I could sneak off, you know, for a half hour and do a little bit of stitching. I don't really get a chance to do that now. And yeah, so we're just unfortunately really busy, so I only get my time in the evenings. Poppy is being a real pig when it gets going to sleep at the moment. We've sort of said maybe we need to start giving her a later bedtime because she just does not want to go. So she's not sleepy. Sometimes occasionally she will doze off, but more and more now I'm having to, I got myself in a bad situation in that I sit with her until she goes to sleep, and we are trying to phase that out. But yeah, she's taking ages, which means I can't stop stitching for ages. So yeah, so onto my haul. So I won this on eBay, this chart. I'd never seen it before, of Hampton Court Palace. So I absolutely love Hampton Court. I love the Tudors. I've never done anything that has like a sampler type feel to it, so I thought it would be something a bit different for me to try. I might, like, the writing and that doesn't really show up that well. I mean, that's on blue fabric and white, and I feel like it doesn't really, so I might change that. But I think I paid just over £1 for it. So one moment, my cat just wants to go outside. Go. Come on. Oh, sorry about that. Yes, I think I paid just over £1 for that. And I was very tempted. There's a lady that was selling charts of Henry VIII, and then she had one for each of the wives as well, and it was like a full portrait kind of style. And I thought, oh, I could have like Hampton Court and then Henry and the wives around the outside. But yeah, I decided not to go for it because there was only £1 each as well, and I was like, oh, I was very tempted, but decided not to. For anyone that does like the Tudors or history, Hampton Court does a really good, I think it's called Palace of Lights at Christmas. We're booked up to go on the 23rd, and you get to walk through the grounds, through sort of like the main court in the middle, and hopefully this will focus again in a minute, and into the gardens, and they'll have big structures lit up, and then they do a theme. I think last year it was all about the planets, and that was amazing. This year I think it is like mythical beasts, I think. I'm pretty sure. Right. Hoping that might have helped it, but no. Oh, it's thinking. Oh well. I apologise that we're a little bit out of focus, but the next bit I've got is my last bit of haul, and it is, I've not seen it yet, so this is kind of like unwrapping with you and unboxing, and it was a massive stash of fabric, and I paid for this about £25 with postage. There's quite a lot here. So I'm really hoping that, it seemed like a good deal to me. So the first thing I've got here is some, 28 count even weave. And that is 20 inches by 15 inches. So it's just the cats having a little fight. Then I've got some 18 count Ada, which is 11.5 by 11.5 inches. This lady's really good actually. 14 count cream Ada, 35 inches by 30 inches. Wow. Whoa. Hello. I mean, that's massive. I can get a lot of projects, considering I don't do massive projects either, really. I can get a lot on that. Excellent. Oh, quite excited. This one is 18 count Ada, 30 by 36. So again, it's going to be similar sort of the same size as that. 22 count Ada. I've never stitched on 22 count. 19 by 18 inches. Let's have a look. Oh, there we go. That's a decent size project. So I've never stitched on a very tiny, a 22 count. Very, very tiny. Oh, I'll try and think of something that I think would look better in the smaller stitching. Then I've got, oh, some big pieces here. What is this? 16 count Ada, 21 inches by 19 inches. Oh, so 55 centimeters by 50. So ½ meter square, and looks like I've got 2 of them, and colour bay leaf. I may end up passing them ones on, I'm not too sure. I don't often stitch on coloured pieces. I think I'm just not brave enough. And then this was like a bit of iron on stuff. And oh my god, this is massive. This was a 28 count antique white, 1 meter by 55 inches. Wow. Cool. Wow. Ooh. Ghost. So yeah. £25. I think that is a bargain. For pieces that big. I'm really happy with it. I do want to do, there's a long dog sampler that I want to do. I can't think of the name of it. The fifth element? Maybe Fifth Element. So actually something like that, this is going to be ideal. And put that on a scroll frame as well, so I can see the width of it as I go along. Yeah. If you've done a long dog, do let me know. And especially if you've done your own colours. The one that I like, I've seen one in where it's just one colour, and I've seen one where a lady has done the elements in all different colours. Like, she's only picked, I think, about 5 or 6 colours and followed them throughout the whole image, but it looks so good like that with just little bits of colour. And I'm kind of thinking that maybe I'll just do because it's kind of like it's like a rectangle, and then like a bit going across, and then it's got like a series of arches, and then images in the arches, I think. And mainly because it's got a big wowl in it is why I like it, because I love wowls. But I'm kind of thinking that maybe stitch the outline in one colour, I'm not sure what, but probably a darker colour, maybe like a dark grey or something like that, rather than a black, so it's not as harsh. And and then work on the colours of the other elements that I want in it, maybe. I really like how this lady's done it. It is stunning, absolutely stunning. So yeah, so that is everything for this video. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for getting to the end. I am going to go and try and find my cat now. She still is, after 3 months, being bullied a little bit by the other cat. Oh, now we're back. Now I'm here to say goodbye. It gets in focus. Being bullied by the other cats. Only one, really, Clark. But, yeah, so she's not having a great time at the moment. Bless her. But she's fine most of the time. But it's when he decides that he'll then like start to chase her or something like that. So, yeah, I've not heard her come back in through the cat flap. So, bless her. I do feel sorry for her. So yes, that's it. I will try and give an update at the beginning of December. If not, it will definitely be by the end of the month. I've got a couple of days where Poppy is going to Wales with her dad. So I've got some time on my own, and I will definitely do just kind of like a whip parade of what I'm taking into 2023 at the very least. And hopefully a finish. Fingers crossed. But yeah, that's it. So thank you for watching. Maybe have some more haul, probably not because it's coming to Christmas. But yeah, I hope you have a good one. Hope you stay safe. If I don't see you before, have a good Christmas. Bye bye.